Here in the Midwest, community is important.
Having a healthcare system that's looking out for us,
That's actively addressing the racial disparities in healthcare is important.
When we can get good quality care,
We can do more. We can achieve more.
we can be the kind of community we want to be, and that's really important.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
Good afternoon, folks. This is Robert Chappell, Executive Editor of Madison365, with your daily update for Thursday, June 10th. I have to first mention another sponsor, if I can get my screens to work here. Sorry. There we go. I'm not in my usual spot, so everything's weird. The sponsor that we're talking about today is a sponsor of Madison365. We have a partnership and ad trade with Forward Madison Football Club. And right now, this weekend, we'll talk more about the game in a little while, but it's a big game. It's their first game back at full capacity. So they have two special ticket promos. The Rose Pack, if you use promo code ROSE when you order your tickets, you get not only one of these fabulous little tumblers, but you get some locally made wine, specially made for this occasion, Chateau Mingo. It's a rosé. Obviously, it's pink for the occasion. And if you use the promo code WISCO, it's 2 tickets, 2 beers, 2 brats, and an order of cheese curds. Can't go wrong with that. So get your tickets now, forwardmadisonfc.com. So I think what we'll do is we'll go through the coronavirus numbers really quick because there's not a lot of news there, which is great. We've got a lot of state news to talk about. This big kind of blow up in the legislature today that has gone, that we reported this morning, that's gone a little bit viral. So we'll talk about that after the break. So right now, though, let's talk about COVID numbers, which are just fine, continue to be just fine. We got 136 new cases today out of 1,300 new test results. So that's about 10%, which is fine of that number. The most important number, if you had a single most important number, is 1.2% of all the tests in the past 7 days have come back positive. That's a very low number. That's the lowest we've seen. It's the same as it was yesterday. So it hasn't changed. That's great. That means we've got the thing under control. There's very little virus sort of in circulation right now. We're testing enough to know who's negative, who's positive, all that. We did see 11 more deaths today. We didn't see 11 deaths today. The total death toll went up by 11 to 7,200. We know there's only been about 2 or 3 deaths in the past week, and the rest of those are from much earlier that have just not been confirmed. Okay. Vaccines are also continuing to look okay. We're now at 48.8% of Wisconsin has at least one dose, and about 43.6%, so just under 44%, have completed the vaccine. So that's good. I want to check on the average number of doses given per day, and that seems to have come down just slightly. On the 8th, it was 15,000 doses per day, which is good, which is great. Now it's 14,350, which is less great, but it's better than it was. It was as low as 10,000 at one point last week. So the fact that it's coming back up, it's in that sort of 15,000 range, is great. We're not going to get to 80% anytime soon. 80% being what you need for herd immunity. We're not going to get there anytime soon, but slowly but surely, more and more people are getting vaccinated, and the vaccines that we even have right now is part of what's responsible for keeping that positive test rate down at 1.2. I don't think if we weren't almost halfway done being vaccinated statewide, I don't think that number would be 1.2. I think it'd still be 3 or 4%. So that's good. So we are going to that's all the COVID numbers. We've got we got lots more news to talk about. So we're going to keep COVID kind of short because, the news is good there. So thank you for the kind words, Vivian. Appreciate it. We're going to take a short pause. We're going to hear from another sponsor, Madison College, longtime supporter of Madison 365 and the work we do. And we'll be right back after this to talk about racism in the state legislature. Stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, we are back. Thanks for sticking with us. In the legislature today, we have a bit of a, rhetorical fight between Francesca Hong on the left there, represents Madison's 76th district, and Assembly Majority Leader Jim Steineke there on the right. Here's the deal. Here's the story. You might remember the Assembly Republicans decided not to recognize Black History Month back in February. In April, the legislature did successfully pass a resolution recognizing and honoring APITA Heritage Month, APITA being Asian, Pacific Islander, and Desi American. So Asian American History Month gets recognized and Black History Month does not. Francesca Hong, who had originally been one of the sponsors of that APITA bill, she's the first Asian American to serve in the state legislature. So she promoted that. She took her name off as a sponsor because people were, it was kind of a deal. But it passed. And in the statement that she issued after that passed, this is on May 11th, so just a few weeks ago, about a month ago, I guess. Part of the statement, she thanked her colleagues for passing it. She talked about why it was important. And then she wrote this: today, as an original author of this resolution and as the first APITA legislator in Wisconsin history, I'm also weighed down by the sadness of this moment. I acknowledge that my joy will never be complete if my Black colleagues and Black Wisconsinites continue to see the resolution honoring Black History Month denied on the basis of hatred and racism. So since that statement came out, Jim Steineke has refused to schedule a vote on any Democratic-led resolutions. The three that we're aware of right now that were a sponsor, basically what happens is a sponsor requests the Assembly Majority Leader to schedule a vote on a resolution. I have this resolution. Can we please schedule a vote? And the three that we know of so far that have been requested to be scheduled are recognizing Pride Month, LGBTQ plus Pride Month, which is June, Wisconsin Mothers Month, and Gun Violence Survivors Day. Those are three that have bipartisan support in both houses, and the lead sponsors of those asked that they be scheduled. The response to their scheduling request in each of those three cases was a 2-sentence email from Rusty Schultz, who is Jim Steineke's chief of staff. It says, acknowledging receipt of your scheduling request, please see the attached and consult with your leadership team with any questions you might have. And the attached is Francesca Hong's statement calling out the failure to support Black History Month. So apparently, I don't know what they want exactly. They want the leadership, Gordon Hintz, the Democratic leader, and other leadership to censure Francesca Hong or something. I don't know what they want. I did see these emails from Rusty Schultz. They were forwarded to me, so I can confirm that they're real, that this was the actual response from the majority leader's office. Steineke's office did not respond to my requests for comment or clarification. And we'll update the story if he does. Far from censuring or scolding Hong, Democratic leadership put out a statement today, basically, really going at Jim Steineke. As Gordon Hintz, the minority leader, said in a statement, Assembly Democrats will continue to advocate for the people of Wisconsin who have made clear that systemic racism in our state must be addressed. Assembly Republicans must stop their manipulative actions and consider how they can encourage rather than stifle discussions in the Assembly on this topic in Wisconsin. The thing is, white people, not just conservatives, but liberals do this too. White people have a real hard time sometimes talking about race. And anytime we talk, we act more upset at being called racist than black people who actually experience racism. Sorry. So that's a problem, right? So having the racism called out causes Jim Steineke to try to shut down the democratic process in the legislature. Great. So we'll talk more about this on the podcast tomorrow. We'll have Stephanie's input on it. If Jim Steineke comes out with a statement of any kind, we'll add it to the story. But it's pretty petty, if you ask me. All right, moving on. A coalition of faith leaders yesterday held a press conference to denounce a series of bills that are in front of the legislature right now that would make it harder to vote, especially for black and brown people to vote. These are supposedly to address voter fraud that doesn't really exist. It would shorten hours or shorten period of time for absentee voting, shorten Sunday hours for voting, that kind of thing. These bills will not become law. Governor Evers will certainly veto them if they pass the legislature. But the faith community coming out strongly in favor of more people being able to vote. Dr. Ava Vivian has been honored by the with the WIHA Healthy Aging Star Award. WIHA is the Wisconsin Institute for Healthy Aging. Dr. Vivian is a professor at the UW-Madison School of Pharmacy. We've had her on various events that we've had to talk about vaccine. And she's also president of the African American Health Network, where she pushes for equity in underserved communities with a special emphasis on diabetes. And she's been honored with this award for her work in that space. So congratulations to Dr. Ava Vivian. We're going to talk a little bit more about the football. It is the Henny Derby. This is the blackest rivalry in sports. That's why we're going to talk about it. The story will be up tomorrow morning. It's not on the site yet, but on the left there you have Forward Madison fan Kyle Carr. On the right is Richmond Kickers fan Elliot Barr. Just a coincidence that their names are Kyle Carr and Elliot Barr, which I find hilarious. You don't see a lot of black soccer fans. You didn't until recently. But these guys basically over Twitter 3 years ago Elliot reached out to Kyle and said, all right, we're going to bet a bottle of Hennessy on the winner of this game. Richmond won that game. Madison won the next game. And then, a rivalry was born. And now it is the Henny Derby. And there's always this Hennessy trophy on the line. And it's a celebration of black culture, black fandom, and just American lower level soccer. So it's a lot of fun. That story will be on Madison365.org tomorrow morning. One more thing I'll mention, check out the Real Talk with Henry Sanders podcast. Griselda Eldrete is the guest today. She is the Director of Stakeholder Engagement at Alliant Energy, formerly Executive Director of the Milwaukee Police and Fire Commission, formerly CEO of the Hispanic Professionals of Greater Milwaukee. Really interesting backstory. Born in Milwaukee, grew up in Mexico, came back to Milwaukee. Now she's coming to Madison. So fascinating backstory and a really good conversation. All right, that's all I have for you. Have a wonderful evening. Stay cool. There will be no update tomorrow. We'll have, all the news will be there at Madison365.org, but I am heading out of town and we haven't gotten to that point yet where I have a substitute host. So someday, pretty soon, I'll be able to take a day off from this and have a substitute host, but there will be no update on Friday. But enjoy your weekend. Stay cool. It's going to be a hot one. So take care of yourselves and we will see you again Monday.
This is 365 Media.
An employee authorization form and send it your way. You can send that over to my email, V as in David, bishop@parkbank.com. So again, what I need is name, email address, phone number, and mother's maiden name. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, we make some pork chops, then we mac and cheese, and just some noodles for you. And then we're gonna go after dinner. We're gonna go to the place.
I want to go to the frog right now.
We're gonna go to the Folk.
Right now.
We're talking about an hour probably. I'm just gonna write your wristband so you can do as many items as you want. Okay?
A wristband? Oh yeah, what is that?
Hey, girl, my auto is doing it.
That means you're not going to need ticket for
Yeah.
a ride. You just really need a wristband. And you just don't need